Mindful parenting for ADHD and why it matters. I want you to listen through this list and find out which one most aligns with you and comment in the comments below. And then take steps forward with your child with ADHD so that you can be more successful. I'm Ivan. I am a parent coach. I help families raise ADHD kids. I want to give you these tips so that you know what parenting coaching can do for you. Now, number one is that ADHD parenting is not just about managing behavior, which is what I hear most from parents. How do I get my kids to do certain things or to not do certain things or to be able to focus? It's about about managing their nervous system. And most of that actually comes from you. Mindful parenting starts with recognizing that your child's dysregulation can trigger your own stress system. If your nervous system is overwhelmed, your reactions become automatic rather than intentional, and children with ADHD often co-regulate through the adults around them. So your child may be activating unresolved stress patterns in yourself, and that is creating more challenges in your parenting. Number two, your child's behavior is informational. It's not a personal attack, but it can feel like a personal attack on you. ADHD behaviors can feel defiant, disrespectful, manipulative, but that interpretation often creates just conflict and stress in you. Mindful parenting reframes that conflict as communication. A forgotten chore, an interruption, an emotional meltdown is often the signal of executive functioning, just clogging up the brain, a funnel being jammed up with all the stuff during the day that your child doesn't know how to do or how to get past. When you shift the story, your response changes. When you see your child for trying to communicate, your automatic response is going to change. And ask yourself why certain behaviors feel so personally charged to you. Look at yourself, because your own experiences are challenging and changing how you interact with your child. Now, number three, triggers actually reveal more about you than about your child. This is where learning about yourself, learning about, I call it the shadow. If your child's chaos or intensity or resistance creates outsized frustrations in yourself, there's often an underlying emotional wound being touched in you. Maybe you were expected to be compliant. Maybe mistakes were supposed to be punished or punished in a certain way. Or maybe emotional expression was unsafe or not allowed. Your child's behavior can expose the parts of yourself that you had to suppress in order to move forward and feel successful. And now your child is triggering those in you because you're trying to impose yourself on your child. Healing your reactions first changes the parent-child dynamic. Number four, mindfulness creates space between stimulus and response. All day long, we're getting information in, and our brain wants to have an automatic response, just a knee-jerk reaction. Somebody bumps into you and you go, ugh, like maybe you get irritated first. Maybe that's your first reaction. Somebody yells and you're like, cover your ears. Those are all automatic reactions. Your child doesn't do their homework or says they're not going to. And the first thing that you do is maybe it's get upset. Maybe it's yell. Parenting an ADHD child can feel relentless, and you loop into these patterns. When you learn how to pause through mindfulness, that pause gives you the ability to have options. And having options changes lives. It changes your parenting. One grounded moment can prevent hours of conflict. Number five, ADHD kids need connection before correction. Traditional discipline often prioritizes compliance. Hey, you're going to do what I say to do because I'm mom, because I'm dad. And that is not going to work well with an ADHD mind. ADHD children, especially when they are dysregulated, need emotional safety first, and then their mind can clear so that they can move forward. But until that emotional safety is there, you are not going to have the success. Mindful parenting begins by attuning first to the child, creating connection. It builds trust. Trust increases cooperation. Cooperation increases peace in the home, and it helps with your ability to stay calm. If emotional closeness feels uncomfortable to you, explore why. Where is this vulnerability coming from, and why does it feel unsafe to you? And that might be a reason why you are becoming upset and frustrated. Number 6, perfectionism in your parenting can damage the process. You might have grown up expecting themselves to get it right. Your parents taught you that you needed to get it right. And so then you're imposing this on your children. This creates pressure. It creates criticism. It creates unrealistic standards. And ADHD rarely, if at all, thrives under perfectionism. Progress comes from consistency and connection, not through control. Perfectionism is often a protective strategy rooted in fear of failure or rejection. And thinking about yourself, what are you afraid of? How are you afraid of being rejected? Number 7, emotional regulation is more powerful than any other parenting strategy. Charts, routines, reward systems help. Okay, sure, they're strategies. That's not enough. You have to dig deeper and you have to get to the background skills. If emotional intensity runs the household, systems are going to break down, which is why you keep trying different strategies and they all fail. Children learn regulation by watching it modeled in you. Your calm is more impactful than your words, and sometimes even more than your actions. Your actions will be dictated by your own calm. Regulating yourself may require facing emotions in yourself, unresolved things that you take for granted, and until you understand yourself, you will have difficulty with your own emotions. ADHD parenting requires flexibility, not rigidity. Again, this is a control thing. We as parents want to control our children, think that we know what is best, just want them to do the thing, okay? What's going to work for one child is going to fail for another one, epically. Rigid expectation often create unnecessary battles. Mindful parenting means adapting to the child that is right in front of you, seeing them for who they are, who they really are, not who you think they are or who you want them to be, but who they really are. Flexibility supports growth instead of resistance, and rigidity in your responses can be because you are uncertain, or again, you have fear of losing control or what may happen when you lose control. Healing yourself improves your parenting more than fixing your child. Let me say that one more time. Healing yourself fixes your parenting more than any training you can give your child, more than therapy, more than counseling, more than any doctor visit. When you heal yourself, you are going to make greater gains. Many parents search endlessly for strategies to change their child. This is not the answer. The greatest transformation comes from personal growth. When you become more aware, regulated, and compassionate, the environment changes. When the environment changes, your child changes. Children are going to respond to relational shifts more than any rules, more than any strategies. Parenting can become the pathway for your own emotional healing. And number 10, mindful parenting is a legacy practice. A legacy is something that is passed on and presented, and it can go through generations. You have the power to change more than just yourself and more than your child, because your child is going to be able to come and imitate you and the success that you are having. This work is bigger than daily struggles. It shapes how your child sees themselves, relationships, emotional safety. Mindful parenting teaches resilience, self-awareness, connection. You are not just raising a child. You are shaping future generations. Every healed pattern that you stop repeating changes your family story. It helps your child to move forward and have gains. So remember, mindful parenting for ADHD isn't about becoming endlessly patient or perfectly calm. That's not the point. That's not going to happen. We're human, okay? But it's becoming aware enough to break the cycles and regulated enough to lead with intention and brave enough to face the parts of yourself that your child brings to light, your frustration, your yelling, your reactivity, your need for control, your need to try to make them to become you or whatever it is.